with the Celtics at plus 3.5 favorites, Whalen, going into this game, I would also be remiss and ignoring my Celtics bias if I didn't also tell you the Celtics are 6-0 this postseason coming off a loss. What are the expectations? How do you like that number?
Thank you for acknowledging the Celtics bias.
Of course.
I see the tweets. They're often informative, but often one-sided.
Very.
It does feel like this series is just going to be like whatever team's at home is going to be favored by somewhere between 2.5 and 4 points. And the home court is kind of going to swing it. It feels to me like Boston, maybe kind of after they stole game one, I would certainly they were not okay losing game two, but I think they kind of realized what their fate was going to be in the third quarter and said, all right, let's not overextend ourselves. Let's get back home and let's win at least one, if not both, of these next two games. So I think they're confident. I don't think they're shaken at all by what happened in that third quarter against Golden State. And I expect a more focused effort from the Boston Celtics. I think even early in game two, I thought Boston was going to come out and maybe control most of game two. The way that they played early on, Jaylen Brown was like 4 for 4, I think, to open the game. Mm-hmm. And then that kind of wore off. I think at home, that you can kind of extend that level of play a little bit longer. Crowd is going to be completely juiced up for this one. So I like Boston. I think to jump back out and take back control of this series, I think we're 2-1 heading into game 4 on Friday night.
Yeah, Nick, I think Brown went like 2 of 14 the rest of the way after that hot start.
It looked like he was going to go for 50.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous, and then totally calmed down, obviously. Friar, we know, especially with like a week and a half between games, there's no momentum between these things. So how do you like the number at 3.5 here for this game?
Yeah, look, I know we talk a lot about stats when we're trying to break things down and everything, but when we get to the postseason, there are some intangibles that I do kind of take into account, which is why I like the Celtics again to cover as home favorites on Wednesday. The thing is, Jason Tatum has been such a steady voice throughout the entire postseason, as much as you have Ime Udoka, who's been that way throughout the entirety since the regular season. Tatum does not get phased when he has these down games. He does not get phased when his team loses. At least he doesn't seem to admit that at all. And they've shown with their results, like you said, Adam, 6-0 after losses in the postseason. At some point, you would think that would go away, but at the same time, this is a team that's making a title run right now, so they could easily continue to run that. I think they will, because you have that consistent voice both within Tatum and Udoka, and then defensively and offensively, they're such a remarkably versatile team. You can have anybody, contributing offensively on a given night, and of course defensively, they are well equipped to cover this Warriors team, which is why they've gotten to this point.